Hello, Wastelanders. It's Jewelsmith, playing as Fiona, General of the Minutemen, in Fallout 4. With me, as always, is my precious Hancock, and we are going to give you a tour of Bunker Hill. This is going to be a long one, so buckle in, folks. There's a lot going on at Bunker Hill. I will show you. There it is. And there are all my other supply lines, and I've given you tours of all of these other settlements. Now, Bunker Hill, I unlocked it, I don't know, maybe around the middle point of the game. I unlocked it while doing the main storyline. I don't know if there's other ways to unlock it, but that's what I did. And when I unlocked it, because it was centrally located, I started using it as my main headquarters. It's where I would process all of my settlers through. Prior to that, I was using, well, in the very beginning of the game, I was using Sanctuary Hills to process settlers, and then I started using Starlight Drive-In. For probably the first half of the game or so, I used Starlight as my base of operations, my headquarters, and for processing settlers. And when I say I mean that's where I would put all of my extra weapons, armor, gear, you know, whatever I had, and I would put up a recruitment beacon, and then when people came in, I would outfit them and send them out to other settlements. But then I unlocked Bunker Hill, and it became my processing center for the rest of the game. It still is. I built myself a little house there for me and John, and it's where I keep a lot of my spare goodies. Now you'll notice on the approach, there are still dead synths around Bunker Hill, because there is, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but there was a battle that happens here. And so there are dead, oh, there's a dead raider, there's dead Brotherhood knights, dead synths, there's another dead Brotherhood soldier, but there's also live Brotherhood soldiers. Hi there.
Military business only.
And they've never left. I don't know. I finished the main story with the Minutemen, okay? I never joined the Brotherhood. I found Dance. I did a quest with him, but I never went to the Pridwin.
You're nothing.
That's why I never joined the Brotherhood. You arrogant bastards. I never went to the Pridwin.
Can't talk while I'm on duty.
I never had Dance as a follower. I never met Elder Maxon or any of that.
No one's hiding sense from the Brotherhood.
And because I didn't do the railroad ending, I didn't destroy the Brotherhood. What's out here? Who is that? Oh, that's Carla. Okay, that's cool. So I don't really consider myself allies with the Brotherhood, but I don't consider them enemies
I don't have
either.
time for you right now.
And during the Battle of Bunker Hill, I did not shoot at anyone. I've heard that was one way to have a peaceful ending to the game, and so that's what I did. I didn't shoot at anyone. Ugh. And I did the Minutemen ending. So my Bunker Hill is probably a little bit stranger than other people's Bunker Hill is. And there's one of my provisioners wearing ballistic weave postal uniforms, as they all do. This is the side entrance to Bunker Hill, and you'll see there's another Brotherhood knight there. It's kind of nice having them around Bunker Hill because they help fight things off. Now, every once in a while, they will accidentally shoot one of the caravan people or one of the settlers, and then everybody goes crazy and starts aggroing on each other, and I basically just quit and reload an earlier save to undo that mess. But it doesn't happen very often. Mostly everybody's fine and they all get along and the Brotherhood helps fight off enemies, so I let them stay there. Of course, I don't really have an option. I don't know how to get rid of them in my particular game. Now, the outside of Bunker Hill, when I start my settlement tours, I usually give you the perimeter tour, but Bunker Hill is already built up. When you get here and you unlock it, it already has this big wooden wall all the way around it, and you can't scrap it or do anything different with it. And there are several structures inside Bunker Hill that you can't scrap or change in any way. So you have to work with what you're given. And that's what I did. So entering Bunker Hill, let's take a look at the stats.
Easy living, this ain't.
Yeah. Bunker Hill right now has 23 people. I have a charisma of 14. And in the game, from what I understand, you can have the amount of settlers that you can have in each settlement is your charisma plus 10. So when I turn on my recruitment beacon here, I get up to 24 people, and then I don't get any more than that. Bunker Hill has a standing population of about 22. And then those extra 1 or 2 that wander in from time to time are the ones that I send off to other settlements. So right now we've got our population of 22 plus an extra guy wandering around somewhere that I guess I could assign somewhere else at some point. Just haven't done it yet. Defense of 206. I like to have around 200 in my large settlements. Power 100 because I have one of the larger generators that generates a lot of power. Adequate food and water for everybody. And happiness. Happiness is pretty high here, and I think that's because there's several shops. And we'll talk about that as I go around here. Alright, now Bunker Hill has a little problem in that it might be a little bit laggy, or there might be some frame rate issues here. I used the trick where you could drop weapons and then go into workshop and scrap them to lower your size bar. I should go back and look at that. See, the size bar is almost full. Well, to be honest, it's been full and then reduced and then full and then reduced, and I've done that maybe too many times to squeeze in everything I wanted to put here. So I do get frame rate issues, and you know, I can live with it, but you know, please excuse. Alright, so here at the entrance we have some Minutemen flags. Those were added by Nuka World, so those were a recent addition at the gate here. Of course, that tower and the scaffolding, that's all part of Bunker Hill. Can't do anything with it. I didn't build that. It just comes that way. Squeezing in food
seems to be growing well.
Can be a little bit of a challenge here, but there is actually plenty of places to put food. All of this dirt piles around the buildings, you can plant food in there. I used to have a bunch of food planted along here, but then it would make the farmers act really weird and they would crouch inside the walls to work on the food, and so I relocated most of the food. Bunker Hill is protected by Minutemen.
Got work to do. Can't talk now.
These are settlers that I put in Minutemen uniforms with ballistic weave and combat armor. I have several of them here. In fact, I have 2 buildings that I use as Minutemen barracks in this settlement. And to me, Bunker Hill is very important. Like I said, it's not only my headquarters and my settler processing area, but it's probably, I don't know, it might be my very favorite settlement. I've called it home now for so long, and I've spent a lot of time here. So I have a lot of Minutemen here, a lot of people here, a lot of stuff going on here. Alright, this building comes with the settlement. Now, let me show you Kay and Deb. Do you see how they're crouching? All of the settlers in Bunker Hill who are original settlers, who are here before you unlock the settlement, all of them crouch like that. Ever since the Battle of Bunker Hill, they have been stuck this way. Just as I have the Brotherhood outside of Bunker Hill, I have these crouched settlers. I can still speak to Deb.
I fixed up most
I
of
can
what's
still
here
buy
myself,
things
so it's
from
all
her.
guaranteed. Unless you need to return it.
Sure. Let's take a look.
You may have to dig a little, but I got some choice stuff in there.
That's what she said. See, I can still buy things from her. She still operates just fine. But she's always crouched like that. And these are their beds, I assume. I can't scrap them or move them or do anything with the beds. And I made this my workshop. This is where the settlement workshop is. Let's take a look. Do I have any bottle caps to pick up? I do. So I put in the weapons workbench and the armor workbench. And I have made so many weapons and armor right here for all of my settlers. It's where the magic happens. I added some pavement, extended the sidewalk out a little bit. And this is where I do a lot of cooking. A lot of making vegetable starch mainly. Because vegetable starch is an adhesive and I need tons of adhesive for all those weapons and armor that I make for the settlers. This is another building that comes with the settlement. This is where Kessler lives with her daughter. I fixed it up a little bit, given her a nice clean coffee cup and a coffee pot, some nice furniture, nice beds. You'll see the little girl, Meg, she's still crouching, just like everyone else that lived here before and during the battle. And I gave Meg some toys. They have a dresser. There's a bed for Mama. There are a lot of Brahmin here, yes. I think I modified this just a little bit, the way I did the fence here. I think that this Brahmin trough was already here. Let me check here. Maybe I built it off of the... Oh no, I must have built it off. I think it was this building that was there, and then I built this wall off of it. I don't know. I don't quite remember. I think I just modified it a little bit. But yes, mini Brahmin. Do not mind the body. There are a few dead railroad heavies because of that battle that I mentioned. And their bodies never seem to despawn. And I can't move them. I can't seem to do anything with them. I tried to have that body in between the buildings right here. But as you see, it never stays there. It seems to want to keep respawning inside of their house. So we just will pretend it's not there. I added a Minutemen barracks. So in between this structure and this structure, which can't be scrapped or changed. See, can't do anything with these. They just come with the settlement.
No offense.
I added this structure in between. Minutemen flag. And if you go in, there's the beds for 4 of my Minutemen guards here at the settlement. I like to pretend or imagine that a lot of people pass through this settlement. So it's a very busy, thriving community, but it's populated mainly by shopkeepers and Minutemen guards to keep everything safe. So here's the bar. A poster promoting Jamaica Plain. You can watch my settlement tour video about that place. And you'll see here Joe and I guess his son. Is that his son? Yeah, Tony. They're crouching as well. And this bar, it's got two built-in shops. See there? That one is assigned to Tony, and the other one was assigned to Joe, but I actually took one of the settlers and assigned them to the bar so that it would be like a functioning bar. So Joe is not assigned to anything, and I can't assign him to anything. It's just not an option. But the bar is all fixed up. We have a nice cash register that comes from Nuka World DLC. We have a soda machine, which comes from the Vault Tech DLC.
Another day of hard work. It never changes.
And I've made this into a nice kitchen area with an ice cooler, nice dresser, nice bed, Nuka-Cola cups to go with the soda fountain, and the stove. Excuse me, Joe. Bar stools. Now I've been having a problem with my soda machines being glitched. If I assign someone to work the soda machine, they don't stay assigned to the soda machine. They wander off and lose their assignment. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. I've read about it online. It seems to be a bug that several people are experiencing. I hope that they fix it in an update. But I extended a little walkway here. Put in a nice little awning. And everybody likes to hang out there after hours. Now upstairs, I put up a couple of lighted signs. I didn't do much upstairs. I think I may have put in slightly nicer beds, maybe. But I pretty much just left those rooms the way that they were. Made this just a little bit nicer. I think I put in the bench and the little table there. Put this railing so they wouldn't fall off the end. But otherwise, kind of left it. Deb, what are you doing over here? Sometimes they do wander away from their usual positions, but then they stay crouched. It's so weird looking. Ah, silly, silly. Alright, let's come down here. I made this into a little house. This poor guy, he lives under the shitters. But, you know, it's still better than living out in the wasteland and getting attacked by mutants, I guess. This is where the Scavenger lives. So I have the scavenging station here. And his shelves of junk. I think I've placed all the Milas, but you can still buy extra ones from Tinker Tom and the Railroad, and there's like cool little pieces of junk, so I put it there with the Scavenger's junk. Alright, I built this scaffolding and put a guard post up here. I have two ghouls.
Not much, but it's something.
A male and female ghoul that are Minutemen guards for me.
Plenty of folks want to make life hard for people.
So he's keeping a hairy eyeball on this back area here where we get raiders that come through there sometimes.
You know what I'd call a good day? One that ends without an empty stomach.
I've got some mute fruit clustered back here. And my farmers, they wear bandanas. That's how I know they're assigned to farming. I don't always do it in every settlement with every settler, but in general, I like to give my farmers bandanas. It helps me identify them as farmers at a glance without having to go into workshop. So here's a little building. I think I added this one. Let's check. Yeah, I built this one here on the back. Now this building here came with the settlement. I didn't build it. It just is what it is. But I added this little building in the back. Somebody lives in there. I made this a guard post. Seemed like a good spot for it. They can keep an eye on things in that direction. This bed, I think, yeah, see it says owned. It can't be scrapped or moved. I'm not sure who owns it, but the caravan workers like to sleep on it from time to time. And I built this building here. It's a little 2-story house. On the bottom floor, I'll take a look. 2 of my farmers live in here. I gave them some nicer furniture. The shiny chairs and tables, I think, came with the Vault-Tec add-on. And I thought, you know, here at Bunker Hill, because it's such a thriving settlement, that maybe they would have a little bit nicer things. Some of them, some of the settlers. And here's a little walk up in the back. And here's another house. This is where one of my doctors and my clothing vendor live. So we have the chem station here. For a while I had the chem station inside the main building, but then it just got so crowded in there. I moved it here to the doctor's house. I thought about putting it right here. I might move it right there someday. I don't know. Maybe it makes more sense to have it. Does it make more sense to have it not in the building with them? Maybe. Because of the fumes and chemicals? Or would it make more sense to have it inside the building so people can't mess with it when the doctor's not around? I don't know. These are the things I think about in my settlements. So here's another little building that came with the settlement. And I turned it into another barracks because I have so many Minutemen guards. I needed more beds for them. And now, the guards never sleep in the beds. The guards seem to be on duty 24/7. So it's okay that this one is up here because they never actually climb up here and try to get into it. But if you assigned a settler to it that does try to sleep in the bed, I don't think they'd be able to climb up there and get into it. And so here's some goodies for the Minutemen. So this is that side entrance that I showed you from the inside here. Now, why in the world do these lights never seem to work? They like to shut themselves off and stop working. There, now it's back on. I wonder if I probably have to hook up a terminal maybe and make sure it stays turned on. I don't know. I only added those recently. I think they come with automatron and you have to find the schematics in order to be able to build them, and I only recently found the schematics, so I put some up here at Bunker Hill, but I didn't hook up a terminal to them, and they seem to shut themselves off a lot, so I might have to work on that. So here's that side entrance, and here's a whole bunch of raider power helmets of all the raiders that we have been killing here at Bunker Hill. You'd think they would eventually figure out that it's a bad idea to attack us, but they haven't seemed to figure that out yet. But I've got guard posts here, and there's the other ghoul minute lady that I have working for me. We've got water here. That's one of those powered water pumps that doesn't need to be in water. It was added by one of the expansions. I don't remember which one. Maybe Contraptions or Wasteland Workshop. But that's pretty handy. And then we have this building. It's another one of those buildings that comes with the settlement. I've put some food here. Little bench out front. And yes, it is a salon and a florist shop. Let's go in. Here's Mayor Kessler, crouched like the rest of them. There's the barber chair. The barber lady seems to be missing. Oh, there she is. See, she's got a cool haircut. So I said, cool, you need to go be a hairdresser.
Farm run by ghouls. Isn't that something?
But then we have florist shop back here. Those are the potted plants that come with one of the expansions. And then the very nice vases were all taken from the Institute. That one, I don't remember if that came from the Institute or not, but I'm pretty sure all the rest of these came from the Institute because I looted everything in the Institute, everything I could possibly take that was not nailed down before I destroyed it. And I said, you know what? Let's make a florist shop. So that's what I did. Yeah, I actually got the idea for the florist shop in a dream. That sounds really weird, I know, but I do that every so often. I have dreams that give me weird ideas, and I actually had a dream that there was a florist shop in the wasteland, and I woke up and said, I could do that. That's cool. So that's what I did. And upstairs, it's where the hairdresser and the florist, I don't really have a florist. I mean, I don't have anybody assigned to being a florist, but got a couple people living up here. Maybe Kessler's the florist, but she lives over there with her daughter, so I don't know. More food, more corn planted here. It can be a little bit dangerous having the food right next to the entrances, because when you get attacked by raiders, they'll come in and start tearing everything up. But it's not too bad. I haven't had too many problems. With those Brotherhood people outside, the raiders don't tend to get very far. You look like a new guy. I don't remember you.
Anyway, I just wanted to say thanks for the opportunity. I'm ready to help with whatever you need. Just say the word.
Yeah, well, he must have just shut up. Do you need anything?
Did you need anything?
Thanks, but I really can't think of anything we need.
Okay, well, welcome to the settlement. Dude who looks so much like every other dude that seems to show up in my settlements. You know, with such variety in the hairstyles and facial features, you'd think that you wouldn't just get the same looking settlers over and over and over, but I think I've got about 100 dudes that look like this guy. Look at this one right here. And that one right there. They all look the same. And that guy right there, look. Ugh. You guys all synths or something? What the heck? I mean, that's okay if you are, but, you know, it would just be nice to see a different face now and then. Alright, so we come in here. Here's the big main building. This is also part of the settlement. You can't scrap it or really do much of anything with it except put stuff inside of it. So in here, we have a medical center with a surgery,
feet hurt, everything hurts.
and the regular clinic doctor stand there,
Almost ready to
and the Phoraptor eye doctor. And here's some of their chems and materials. And here's where I show off my bobbleheads. Because why not? Everybody can come in here from the wasteland and gawk at the General's awesome bobblehead collection. There's another Jamaica Plain promotional poster. We've got a slot machine. And I put up these, what is that, colonial historic paintings inside. I thought that was appropriate for Bunker Hill. We have the clothing vendor over here.
Out here, you gotta take things one day at a time.
Yep. And she's behind a clothing counter. Those scales, I think they came from the railroad. I think they're sitting somewhere inside Railroad HQ, and I thought, well, since there's a symbol of commerce, I would bring them here and put them inside Bunker Hill. This little corner, it's a very special corner where I spend a lot of time because it's where I have everything stored. This is all the stuff that I give my settlers. All the clothing and armor and weapons that I've collected in the wasteland. And I put it here, and that's how I outfit everyone when they come in. I outfit them and send them off to other places. Now this filing cabinet, I was holding a lot of the Nuka World stuff, but it's down to just the Western things. I'm still thinking about maybe doing a Western themed settlement somewhere. Haven't made up my mind yet, since most of my settlements, well, all of my settlements have been unlocked and built up. Not sure where I would make a Western settlement, but I'm hanging on to that stuff just in case. And over here I put in some of the Nuka World games, because why not? People can come in from around the wasteland and play a few games while they're hanging out in Bunker Hill.
Yes?
Well, they like a slot machine. Is it quitting time? Everybody hanging out?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of magazines I've collected.
Yes, I win again.
Oh, there's the doctor.
Huh?
Hi there. Now this is a shop, and of course things are falling off the shelves. Oh, we know all about that, don't we? This is a shop. This is where Deb's shop is supposed to be. And I think she is still assigned to this spot. Yeah. It says repair, but it doesn't let me actually repair it. Isn't that weird? I don't know what's going on with that. Put in a water fountain.
You gotta try the slot machine. It's the best.
I've thrown down a few extra beds because this is where the caravans, the merchants like Carla and Doc Weathers and Lucas and Cricket, they like to stand right here when they're in Bunker Hill. So I put down a bed, and sometimes their caravan guards will sleep back here.
I just can't lose.
I'm just here between jobs.
At night. And over here I have soda machines. And I actually managed to get some of the soda bottles to sit inside the soda machines. I'm very proud of that, because that was not easy. And they like to fall out a lot. And there's Old Man Stockton, assuming the position. And I put in a Nuka-Cola mixing station, because why not? Hello, viewers. I see that there's a few comments. I can't seem to see them here. I have my laptop sitting next to me, and it's open to the live stream, but it's not showing me any comments. I'm sorry about that. Don't don't know what the deal is with YouTube. I think I'm just, maybe I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm looking at my own live stream and it's not showing me the comments. Now up here, I built off of this scaffolding onto the roof. I have guard posts up here and turrets. Oh, you can see down into the bar there. And this is where I have the power generator and the recruitment beacon.
I just can't lose.
The guard post there. And then this is where I built my little house for John and I. It has my fast traveling point. So whenever I fast travel to Bunker Hill, this is where I show up.
You gotta try this slot machine. It's the best.
This is our house. This is where we live when we're not otherwise living in the other settlements. Some settlements I build little places for John and I to live. Sometimes it's just as an extra bed that's laying around somewhere. Like at Sunshine Tidings Co-op, there's a mattress thrown behind in the back of the robot workshop. But then some settlements I have little bedrooms that I make for us. At Warwick Homestead we have a little party bus. And at Grey Garden we have a little party bus that we can live in when we're there. But this is our house. Of course, I also have home plate, but we don't spend much time in Diamond City. I don't imagine that John would like being in Diamond City very much, because they don't like ghouls there and because of all the baggage. But yeah, this is our little place. I used to have shelves over here, bookshelves and wall shelves, but everything kept falling and I would find it on the ground down underneath the house. So I said, all right, fine, screw it. I'll just put everything in boxes. So we have our chems and yummies, and we have other goodies and toys. And here we have food and stuffs. Under the bed, I keep some of our clothes here, some of the cool clothes I've collected in the game. There's that Nuka Girl rocket suit that I said I wasn't going to donate to my brothel. I was going to keep it for personal use. Ah, the pirate cannon. I gave that to John when we had the big battle at the castle and he ran around shooting all the synths and coursers with it. It was so awesome. That's the set of road leathers that was the very first thing I wore in the game after I changed out of my vault suit. I have so many stealth boys and I don't use them in this game. I used stealth boys like crazy in Fallout New Vegas, but not in this game. I don't know why. That's the synth component that came out of Dima in Far Harbor. Now, I know it's no different than any other synth component, but I don't know. I just... Oh, that's a whole nother story. I won't even get into it, but I saved it special. Vault suits. That's the little baby book that belonged to Sean. Things. And this is just junk. This is the miscellaneous junk that I have managed to clear out of my inventory, even though I still have about 1 million other pieces of miscellaneous junk still in my inventory. It's just all stored there. I don't know why. I guess I thought maybe I might need it sometime, but I don't. And this is more junk. Oh, I think this is Far Harbor junk. Okay, Far Harbor junk. This is the gun that was given to me by Sturgis. After I finished the Minutemen ending of the game, he was at the castle and he walked up to me and he said, "I made this for you." And he gave it to me, and I don't use it, but I just thought it was really special. And of course, I have a special place in my heart for Sturgis, so I put it up there with a little light shining on it. And then this is where I have a bunch of Nuka World junk that I may probably move over. I'll probably move most of this stuff over. Now that I've unlocked the Nuka World Red Rocket settlement, I'll move this stuff over there. I just haven't done it yet. So that's my house.
I win again.
And I fast travel here, and then I run over here and I jump down, whee, boop, and run over here and grab goodies. I have done that about 1,000,000 times in this game. But there you go. That is Bunker Hill. There's another light over here that's not working. You bastard. Come on. There you go. Okay. Gotta have all the lights on. So that's Bunker Hill. What do you think? Oh, I didn't go up in the tower, but let's go in the tower. I think I tried to build some stuff in here and I couldn't. I did put a turret here. And I put a... But then I think when you get past a certain point, like up right about here, you leave the workshop mode. So it's not possible to put... Well, of course, I don't know what you would put in here. I don't think there's not really any rooms or anything, right? It's been a while since I've been up to the top of this place. Oh, there we go. I see that chair there and that little table. I can't interact with that. If I try to go into workshop, see, it doesn't put me in workshop. So I couldn't actually put anything up here or change it. But it's a pretty cool view. Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed seeing Bunker Hill. My next tour will probably be Croup Manor. That would be the next settlement that I unlocked. Maybe... Let's take a look. Oop. Wrong button. There we go. Yeah. Croup Manor way out here. That'll be our next settlement tour. And then the lighthouse. Well, thanks for hanging out. Like I said, I really appreciate it. I know this has been kind of a long one. There's a lot to see here and a lot to talk about. I don't think I've left anything out. There's no robots here. There's no animals here besides the Brahmin. I think I've gone inside all of the buildings and shown you all of the things. Oh, there's a staircase here. I put a little ladder up to this level. Guess we could walk around here. I used to have that guard post up here on a platform, but then they added the little oh, I'm totally blanking now. That little structures, scaffolding. Ugh, couldn't think of the word for a second. Having a senior moment. And I'm not even a senior yet. Yeah, the scaffolding. So they added the scaffolding and I moved it down there. I liked it better down there. See you next time. Bye.